Swan Song, uh, new movie on Apple Plus. I was able to get to for today, and most notably, Mahershala Ali's newest movie, who
Yeah,
has
must
risen
see.
to fame as one of the, if not the premier male actor in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
Uh, this this movie was directed by Benjamin Cleary, who hasn't made a lot of things, but you might know him from a short film called Stutterer. But really, this is his first like feature length film, and basically the premise is Mahershala Ali is diagnosed with this terminal illness, and he is with working with this company who is uh, providing clones to people that so that when they die, the clone will take their place, and the family will never know that the person died. Um, it's a pretty interesting plot. Sometimes it can get a little I don't want to say convoluted, but just confusing because
Mm.
you have Mahershala Ali playing two roles: himself,
Yeah,
who is Cameron, and then Jake, who is
clone.
uh, the clone, or maybe it's Jack, I think. And the clone slowly, starts to work his way into being Cameron, and it explores a lot of different themes. I think obvious ones of humanity and what it means to be human, also like the ethics of having this clone take over your life and not telling your wife and child,
Ah,
is pretty interesting and something he grapples with. Aquafina plays a another person who chose to go through with this, and
is this a comedic Aquafina performance or more like the farewell?
uh, I'd say even more serious than the farewell.
Ah,
It's
wow.
there's very little humor in this. Uh, the feel good moments are moments where Herschel Ali and Naomi Harris, who plays his wife, and their son are all just like having these family moments that are just really like joy filled, and there's a real chemistry between Ali and Harris, which is just I feel like they crackle on screen a lot of the time, and you really buy into the relationship, even if where you kind of pick up with them, you're not totally they're not in the best place in their marriage at this point. Um, but it's really interesting, especially there's this one point in the movie. I don't want to spoil it too much for people, but where Cameron falls ill and they send in the clone because he's supposed to be with the family at this point, and they're trying not to give the secret away, and he's still kind of deciding if he wants to go through with it or not. And Mahershala Ali's Cameron is like feeling like something is really up, and it feels like the movie is like on like an edge where it could go in this direction where it's like this like, is this clone actually turning bad type thing, or is this about like a person like grappling with their existence, their humanity? It's really well done. Glenn Close also has a side role in this, I should say, as the doctor who's running this cloning company.
Hmm.
She's not in it that much. What she is in, obviously, she's pretty good. I think where I didn't totally love the movie at times is I think just like this concept, especially if you've seen Black Mirror, is super unsettling and like
Hmm.
a little bit I don't know, just hard to sit with the thought of in general. Um but you obviously come for the performers, and they all give really great performances. So it may not be like the most fun movie to watch, but if you appreciate Mahershala Ali and Amy Harris and Glenn Close and Aquafina, you're gonna go and just be totally struck by this. So I recommend it, especially if you have Apple Plus. It's probably one of the better things that they've put out this year. So this and Coda probably are like
Yeah,
the two that really stood out to me from them. So
and they have the tragedy of Macbeth from Joel Cohen with Denzel and Francis McDormand going up on Apple early January too. So keeps going. But Mahershala,
absolutely.
cool to see him. Even if the movie's not like a total home run, then still a pretty interesting choice for a role because he
Yeah,
always does that.
he makes great choices. If I had to compare this movie to any of his past roles, this really reminds me of the character he played in Moonlight. Just the way he plays it, it's very like
Mm.
toned back and flat, but super emotional underneath the very surface. Really well done.